Also in the states where we don't really know what to do with our lives, in the sense that, well, to examine myself, for example, I just graduated university, I don't really know what to do. Family wants me to get, this type of job. They're like, oh, if you do this career, this will be good for you. But at the same time, I have like my own dreams. I'm trying to be a YouTuber, trying to, do all these creative things, trying to do this and this and this. And, if you go online, all these online gurus recommend another business for you. Like there's just so many routes, so many options, so many things to do. And usually, a lot of times, it creates this overwhelming sense of dread, overwhelming sense of anxiety, overwhelming sense of like just feeling lost, feeling lonely, feeling confused. But one new perspective I got when I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and that's another thing. I don't really want to be watching YouTube videos these days because I feel like a lot of these videos they don't really help me. They just like it's just like a waste of time. Obviously it's like to some degree it's entertainment, but I feel like at this stage in my life, entertainment shouldn't be my priority. But anyways, I was watching this video the other day and I got this perspective, and it's like instead of feeling this like overwhelming sense of dread, like, oh, I need to know what to do with my life, I need to figure this thing out, which path should I choose, I need to pick one path, and I need to become successful, and I need to do all these things. Like, why don't we switch it to more of like a fun mindset, which is like, okay, I have maybe 7 things I'm considering. Maybe I want to be a dropshipper, I want to do trading, I want to do coding, I want to, be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to use my degree and get this type of job, I want to do this and do this and do this. Instead of like seeing it like, oh, there are so many options, which one do I do? Why don't we have it from like a more like fun perspective, which is like, wow, so many options, that's only a good thing, which means I get to choose. Like, so many options, that's a good thing, which means I get to explore. So it's just like, okay, let's just do each one for a few months and see where it goes. So maybe the first month or first 2 months, you try to be a dropshipper, and you're like, after that you're like, okay, then I really enjoy the process of that. And maybe you try trading and you're like, wow, I really like the idea that I can make a lot of money. And you say, okay, let me try and get a job. Like, it's like you see it's like more like an adventure thing. Because think about it, if there's like a video game, and in a video game, it usually won't feel more better. Like if you are in like a video game and there are 7 different quests you can do, like it's kind of like an exciting thing, because it's like just more fun things to do in the game, more missions to play, more levels to conquer, things like that. But why is it that in real life we usually get overwhelmed? And the things that obviously real life is a lot harder than the video game, a lot more complex and all that. But I feel like we should just change our perspective from it being this like depressing thing, this like tiring process, like, oh, I don't know what to do, what am I going to do in my life, to more of like a wholesome, like a more fun approach. Like, yeah, like I get to explore, I get to have fun, I get to see where this journey takes me. Like I get to see how, like I get to live different life, have different experiences. Like maybe for a few months I can be a doctor, then for another few months I can be like a coder, then for another few months I can be like a software developer or whatever. So instead of seeing it as this overwhelming thing, like, oh, I need to know exactly what I'm going to be doing, I need to figure it out. Obviously we still want to have a little bit of urgency, obviously we still want to have seriousness and all that, but I feel like what would be more helpful is just like having this enthusiasm, this joy, this like curiosity, like this exploring mind. Because think about it, when you were a child, maybe you were coming back from school and there were maybe 3 roads. Let's assume you just moved from your house, moved to a new place. Now you're coming back from school, you can't really remember the road, and there are like 3 different paths and you don't know which exactly is the way to your house. You're probably not going to sit there and start feeling anxious. You're just going to be like, like, let's fucking explore. So maybe you go through the first road and you find out, okay, this is my house. Then the next day you're or maybe a week later, usually it's not the next day, like, okay, let's see where the other one goes. And you go through the other one, see, okay, it doesn't lead to my house, this is this way. You go through the third one, you're like, oh, this third one is really not, like, you explored and it was fun. So why is it that now that we're older, we're trying to cut that out? So we're older, we're trying to see everything as super serious. Obviously, like I said, you want to take things seriously to a reasonable degree, want to, still try to do productive things, but just stop making it this overwhelming, depressing thing that it has to be right, it has to be perfect. Like, give yourself the freedom, give yourself the thought process to like be able to choose freely. And obviously I'm not perfect as well. A lot of times I'll still fall into be like, oh my god, what am I doing now to choose something in my life? But it's like, just feel happy about it. Like I can do it. I can explore. Like I get to explore. Like it's a good thing.
By the way, if you're in a rut now and you're finding it difficult to get back on your feet and get back in the grind and get back to the flow of things, I've actually created a program that is going to help you do just that. If you're interested in that, if this is a problem you're facing and you actually need a solution, just click the first link in the description of this video.